We live in a big, wide world. I want to see as much of it as I can and travel as far as I can. So I decided to travel all the way from Jordan to Australia, on the other side of the world. And luckily, since coffee is my drug of choice, I ended up in the country's most caffeine-crazed city, Melbourne. As soon as I arrived, I started roaming around the city for a cup of coffee. My only problem was choice. The city is filled with coffee shops. There are coffee shops everywhere. I was amused with the no-end amount of coffee shops around the city. The people in the city are as serious about coffee as Jordanians, and that is saying something.
Sabah al-Khair, good morning. My name is Hamzi and I come from Lebanon. I've been living in Australia for the last 28 years and we've brought along a lot of our traditions with us. And one of the important traditions that we brought is coffee. We drink coffee first up in the morning, we drink it after lunch or dinner. We have it when friends come over and we use it for social occasions and family occasions. And today I'm going to show you how to make Lebanese coffee and how do we drink it. So follow me to the kitchen. So of course we start like any other water with boiling coffee, and depending on how sweet you want it, you add sugar to it. In this particular case, this will take 7 cups of coffee, this size. 1 teaspoon is sufficient, and for each cup we put 1 teaspoon of ground coffee. Coffee in Melbourne is very wide and varied, and we think we have some of the best coffee in the world in this city, and we're very, very fortunate to have all these mixes of different societies and communities that brought it along, whether it be the Italian culture or the Lebanese culture or whatever other culture that drinks coffee. I think we have some of the best in the world, and we're very lucky.
I thought tea would be the drink of choice here. After all, it was a British colony. So what makes Melbourne such a special place for coffee?
I never used to drink coffee until I moved to Melbourne. I'm not originally from Melbourne, but it's very, very hard to live in this city without enjoying coffee. Pretty much every corner you go to, there's a coffee shop, and they're all different, trying new things, got a different blend, got this and that, so you tend to try it. After a while, you fall in love with it.
In Italy there's 60 million people, and everyone have a coffee in the morning. You must have a coffee, a lot of white one. Yeah. Oh yeah, good. Their coffee is the best. You can't beat Melbourne, especially Melbourne, you can't beat.
I discovered that the caffeine addiction in Melbourne was kick-started by the Italians. The first espresso machine arrived in Melbourne in 1954 and was installed by the owners of this small classic Italian cafe.
So this was the very first coffee shop in Melbourne, but there were other cafes in Melbourne, but this was the very first one to do it properly with a proper coffee machine. It didn't take very long to appreciate a good cup of coffee, because Nescafe was the king, and then it was the drippolator. And once people tasted the proper coffee, they actually take to it very quickly, like ducks to water. 99, I would say 95% it was white coffees. Now it's changed. You have the macchiato, the long black, short black. People would not have had a short black then other than people from Europe. But has changed dramatically, and it keeps on changing because that's how it is in the evolution. And it is coffee. It's a living thing, you know. It's something. It's like making wine. A winemaker loves everything about the art of winemaking, from the grapes to the production of wine. Coffee is not too dissimilar. You gotta have the best of the coffee beans there is, and then roasted properly. And then there is a process, a bit of science, but not too much. It's got to be fresh. You got to have good machinery, and you got to know what you're doing. And then that's absolutely wonderful. People, a humble cup of coffee does enhance people's day. It's a nourishment to the soul. Coffee. Coffee isn't just a fuel to the body, but it's the mind and the soul that we are nourishing, and that's wonderful.
I think coffee is a great reason to get friends together for a social outing. So it's an excuse to get people together. Let's go for coffee, let's go for chat, let's catch up over coffee. Even though I drink chai, I'm always like, let's catch up over coffee, because I can't say let's catch up over chai.
Everyone is addicted to coffee. They're just passionate about it. It's an accepted way of life for everyone. If you don't drink it, it's sort of like, what? And 3 or 4 a day or more is normal. It makes sense because they never miss a beat at all.
2 weeks after arriving, I got news about a coffee festival at the Immigration Museum. I jumped with excitement that Melbourne's coffee obsession was going global.
Having a coffee festival with all the different cultures is a great idea. They're all different. I think if you're lucky to taste the Brazilian and the Vietnamese and the Finnish and the Ethiopian coffees, we're very lucky to have the festival, and coffee with Melbourne perfectly.
So people are lining up to get their fortune read by the Turkish coffee. So what they do is once they finish drinking their Turkish coffee, they then tip the cup onto the saucepan. They spin it around 3 times, and then they have to wait for the top of the cup to go cold. And then once that, they go to the teller, and the teller will open it, and there's many lines and empty spaces, so that is where their fortune comes from.
So this coffee is imported from Finland, roasted in Finland, but the beans come from South America. It's a very light coffee, so probably lighter than people are used to drinking, but very flavoursome.
So our brand is called Super Duper Coffee Co, and we're just based in Brunswick, and we import our beans from a small mountainous area in Dalat, and which has a cooler climate, giving it a bitter taste, a more bitter taste, and we counteract that with the sweetness with the condensed milk, and that gives it a creamy, smooth tasting coffee.
It's the latte. So our bean is Colombian, Guatemalan and Brazilian. It's a nice, well-balanced coffee.
It's got tasting notes of it's quite sweet and nutty, so hazelnut praline as well as berries and a really kind of milky chocolate kind of profile to it. It's as you said before, it's a Brazilian single origin, so it's just from one estate. It's just a light roast, so it's quite easy to drink.
I love coffee in Melbourne. I've just got back from working over in the United States, and the first thing I did when I landed was go straight to a laneway for a coffee.
I love the smell of coffee that comes out of every small corner of Melbourne. I fell in love even more with my cup of softness, bitterness, and warmness. Why not create my own version of love by learning the art of coffee making from bean to cup? I truly believe that nothing in this world smells better than coffee. Give me enough coffee and I can take on the world.